Hello everyone. Today, we continue our journey. You're standing in 𝐭𝐞𝐩 in India. The 𝐒𝐭𝐞𝐩𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐨𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐨𝐫𝐲𝐲 and history is written every day. Enjoy exploring the lost cities of history? Like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to step into history. Turn on notifications and enjoy the journey.
Long before the glory of Rome, a wooden giant ruled the banks of the Ganges. 570 watchtowers, 64 massive gates, and a moat deep enough to swallow a war elephant. This is Pataliputra, 305 BC, the largest city on Earth, a place so grand it felt like it wasn't built by human hands. But here is the truth. In this city, you were always being watched. 1,000 hidden eyes saw everything. Forget the emperors. What was it actually like for the weaver, with fingers stained blue by indigo? Step inside. We're going back 2,300 years, to the most crowded dawn in human history. Leave the Golden Palace behind. Descend into the narrow, humid lanes where the real city breathes. A small mud brick room, no windows, just a single strip of gray light cutting through the heavy air. You wake up on a thin cotton mat. You aren't a hero or a priest, you're just a weaver. Look at your hands. Your fingertips are stained a permanent deep indigo blue. This is your mark. Step outside. The smell of burning cow dung hits you, sweet, thick, and ancient. A woman nearby lights her stove. A boy leads goats past your door. The city is already awake. From a small corner shrine, a copper bell rings. Someone is offering flowers to a clay figure of Lakshmi. Then the shadows move. Silent monks in saffron robes glide through the morning mist with clay bowls. You drop a handful of rice into a bowl. No words, no eye contact. In this city, the ritual is everything. Behind them, the Jains. Men sweeping the dust as they walk, making sure they never step on a single soul. Are they holy? Are they insane? In Pataliputra, that debate has been going on for centuries. Breakfast is fuel, not a luxury. Cold rice and curd eaten off a fresh banana leaf. Fast and silent. Now, look at the road. It isn't a random alley. It's a massive, perfectly straight grid of packed earth. Even the Greek ambassadors were stunned. They had seen Babylon, but they had never seen order like this. You head toward the weaving quarter. The air begins to smell of turmeric, raw cotton, and river mud. Your workshop is a simple bamboo frame. No walls, just a palm leaf roof to catch the stray breeze. You sit at your pit loom, your feet in the trench. The rhythm begins. Tuck, tuck, tuck. You don't own this loom. You work for the empire, and the empire is always watching. The sun is higher now. You leave the workshop and head into the beating heart of the city, the great bazaar. The noise hits you first. A wall of shouting vendors, clattering carts, and the rhythmic hammer of coppersmiths. Smells swirl around you. Sharp turmeric, pungent mustard oil, and the sweet, heavy scent of sandalwood incense. Look at the stalls. Baskets overflow with black pepper and cinnamon, spices that Europe won't even taste for centuries. But look closer. This isn't the chaotic market of other ancient cities. Everything here is under a cold, calculated order. Every weight is standardized. Every price is fixed. If a merchant cheats you by even a fraction, the penalty is severe. This is the Arthashastra in action, the world's first manual of total state control, written by the ruthless Chanakya. You feel a chill despite the heat. You are being watched, not by soldiers, but by the person standing right next to you. That old beggar leaning against the wall, he might be a captain of intelligence, listening to every word you say. The merchant laughing at a joke, he could be reporting your loyalty to the state by sunset. Spies are everywhere, disguised as monks, fortune tellers, and even children playing in the dust. This is the Emperor's silent ear, a network so vast it makes modern intelligence agencies look like amateurs. Midday arrives. The heat is brutal. You find shade under a neem tree and open your meal wrapped in a banana leaf. Rice, lentils, and pickled mango. You eat with your right hand, watching the river flow in the distance. You drink from a copper vessel. Ancient wisdom tells you it keeps the water pure. They don't know why, it just works. Around you, people talk in whispers. In Pataliputra, silence is safety. To question the state is to vanish. Yet there is a strange comfort in this iron grip. There is no crime, no famine. The city is a well-oiled machine. You finish your meal and toss the banana leaf aside. A goat consumes it in seconds. Nothing is wasted here. You head back to your loom, passing through the district of the ivory carvers. Masterpieces being born from bone. The air grows thick with the smell of the tanning district. Raw hides and chemicals. The darker side of industry. You walk past a row of government storehouses. Grain enough to feed millions, locked away behind wooden gates. The city feels like a living organism, and you are just a cell within it. Useful, replaceable, and always observed. But while you return to your work, the real power is stirring in the center of the city, behind the golden gates of the palace. Leave the dust of the weaving district behind. Cross the inner walls into the royal compound of the Emperor. Here, the air is cooler, scented with jasmine and rare perfumes from the edges of the world. Look at the pillars. They are wrapped in golden vines and silver birds with emerald eyes. The Greek ambassador, Megasthenes, walked these halls in disbelief. Even the palaces of Persia could not compare. Artificial ponds mirror the sky, stocked with sacred fish and surrounded by trees sculpted into perfect shapes. Tame peacocks and pheasants wander the gardens, their feathers catching the sun like scattered jewels. But this beauty is a gilded cage. At the center is Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. He is a man ruled by absolute power and absolute paranoia. He trusts no one. He never sleeps in the same room 2 nights in a row. Assassins are a constant shadow in his mind. Look at his guards. They are not men. A specialized corps of armed women protects him at all times. Every dish he eats is tasted by servants. Every cup of wine is tested for poison before he drinks. While the emperor lives in fear, his power is undeniable. Step into the vast stables on the city's edge. 9,000 war elephants stand here, like living mountains of muscle draped in iron armor. Beside them, 30,000 cavalry and 600,000 infantry wait for the command to march. This is the force that terrified Alexander the Great's army, the reason the Greeks turned back. Chandragupta didn't just win a war against Seleucus Nicator. He won a Greek princess as his bride. In this palace, a daughter of Macedonia walks among Indian nobility, a symbol of a world united. From this wooden throne, the emperor governs 50 million souls, from the Hindu Kush to Bengal. But as the afternoon sun begins to dip, the golden vines of the palace cast long, sharp shadows. The grandeur of the court feels distant as you return to the riverbanks, where the real city lies. Even the most powerful man on earth cannot stop the sun from setting over the Ganges. The river flows on, indifferent to the gold of the palace or the blood of the battlefield. The sun sets over the Ganges, turning the sacred water into a river of liquid gold. Smoke rises from the funeral pyres at the river's edge. Death is not hidden here, it is part of the day. You walk back through the cooling lanes. The city smells of jasmine, dust, and the sweet scent of cooking fires. Your wife is waiting. She is cooking over a small clay stove, the same way her ancestors did for centuries. Dinner is simple: more rice, a few lentils, and a handful of greens bought from the morning market. Your children play in the dirt with wooden tops, toys that archaeologists will find buried in the mud 2,000 years later. Your house has only 2 rooms. A copper water vessel and a small bronze lamp are your most prized possessions. After dinner, the lane comes alive. Neighbors sit on low wooden stools, sharing stories in the growing dark. An old man tells a legend from the Mahabharata, his voice rising and falling with the flicker of the oil lamp. The children listen with wide eyes, learning about gods, kings, and the great dice game of the ancients. This is how culture lives. No books, no schools for the common people, only memory and the spoken word. Night falls fast. You bolt your wooden door from the inside and light a single small flame. Your wife whispers a final prayer to a clay figure of Ganesha, asking for protection for one more day. You lie on your cotton mat, listening to the city settle. A distant drum, a barking dog, and the eternal river. Tomorrow, the loom will call again. The same rhythm, the same rice, the same humid heat. In a world of famine and war, a predictable, boring day is the greatest gift of all. This is civilization. But why have most people never heard of this giant? Why did Pataliputra vanish from our memory? The tragedy of this city was its beauty. Stone cities like Rome endure, but wood and earth eventually rot. The great floods of the Ganges, which gave the city life, eventually claimed it beneath layers of silt. In 1912, archaeologists dug into the mud of Patna and found only fragments of 80 sandstone pillars. A city that once dwarfed Athens and Rome was reduced to a few broken stones in a lonely park. But for one day in 305 BC, it was alive, loud, hot, crowded, and stubbornly, endlessly alive. Thank you for watching Step into History. For a brief moment, you stepped into a world that once existed, a city that shaped history, and lives that felt just as real as ours today. These stories are more than the past. They are echoes of how we lived, built, and understood the world. If you want to continue exploring lost civilizations, subscribe and join the journey. Where should we travel next? Until then, we'll see you in the past.